Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with Linda, and we wanted to tell you some of the things that we were exposed to and came to know by doing these sports shows that we were doing to try to bring this information to all of you folks listening. You know, Linda, there's something that really struck you, I know, when we were at this last sports show down by New York City, and regardless of the tremendous blizzard that we endured, oh my gosh, I've never seen. You know, we think up here where we are, we've got the most incredible winter weather, but that winter storm and blizzard that hit New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut and all the New England states, it was beyond. It was really beyond. Yes. We're talking 2 feet of snow and.
Yes, but I will say that here in the North Country, we really have everything at the ready because we are so prepared for this type of weather, the winter weather that we experience. For those in a large metropolitan area, you have limited space in which to put the snow, and you have a lot of people who feel stranded and don't know can't really do anything about it. So it really was an eye-opening experience.
Well, you and I have been doing these winter sports shows for years now.
Yes.
And this was not only one of the most severest weather conditions, but it didn't keep the people from wanting to come. And it was, in my mind, maybe the best show that we've ever done.
We had so many people who were interested in Meissner or had been to Meissner and wanted to tell us of their experiences. It was a fabulous event, and we learned so much.
Well, I think what made it so fabulous for us is we really had a captive audience. We had people coming in that were really interested in what we had supposedly to offer. And a lot of times they don't know what we're offering. You know, they think you and I are the Chamber of Commerce. They say that to us all the time. Well, yes. Why would you do this? And we tell them we both love the area, and we just want to tell the story, and we want to try to help our area in every way we can. And that's by helping build this economic basis for what we're doing.
You know, it's interesting, Don, just to add a layer to this. So many people, especially when I talk to them about how industry left Meissner, and this resonates with so many because many of their communities also experience this downturn in one type of economy. But for Meissner, they're changing it up, and they're using tourism as a way to grow their economic base.
And, you know, these other areas, that's where we're dissimilar to them, that these other areas don't have a resource like what we have here to start building upon. They don't have it.
No.
That's why they'll come to visit our area.
Yes, and they're amazed at what we have, and that's what keeps them coming back for more.
And the other thing, the history that we have in our area of building this area based on what went into building the Seaway, that was an incredible feat. And it brought a huge labor force together.
Yes.
And what they endured in putting that Seaway together, 50-degree below zero temperatures, and just unbelievable challenges. And we were able to meet those challenges and build something that was just astounding. And this is what I try to tell people. There's a history here, a proud history that has made this area special in another way.
Right, and we also tell folks when we're at the shows, because of the history of Meissner, they have 2 places they can go when they want to learn more. You know, during an off day when they might not be fishing or they've brought family with them. The St. Lawrence Seaway Visitor Center, which is wonderful under the direction of Amy Stark, and then the Céline de Philibert Museum, Cultural Center and Museum, which carries the story of the history of Meissner and the aluminum growth and all of that. That's a very important story.
You know, the other thing is I've never really spoken about our museum, and I didn't know much about it, but people might be wondering right now, how are you making this, what's the correlation with fishing? Well, if you remember one of the first big tournaments that you and I did with Messina was several years ago when we had one of the big international companies come up here, and they brought their camera crew and all their producers. And as you and I were preparing rods and reels for the kids, we were going to have a big kids derby. These guys that had just been out filming the area, they came back to us. Do you remember? We were so amazed that they were just raving about our museum in downtown Messina.
Yes,
they said they've been to museums all over the country and never experienced something quite like this. They were really captivated.
We've heard many compliments about the museum and how beautiful it is, what the exhibits mean to them, how they can learn so much about Messina by going through the museum.
You know, it's really something special that you know we're trying to bring people here. But if we bring them here to catch all these wonderful fish, we want the whole family to be able to do stuff here. You know, and they may not all want to go out fishing, but we have other wonderful things for them to see.
Yes, and your listeners would be surprised at the number of businesses who have come forward and given us things to bring to represent them at these sports shows. And we are very grateful because it helps to spread the word about all that Messina has to offer.
Well, this whole fishing expedition that we've been working on for the last decade is now entering a new phase. You know, it's now that we've got our businesses to understand why we do this, that we're doing it for them and we're doing it for the people that live here.
That's right.
And so when you get their help, it makes you all the much more powerful in what you're trying to accomplish.
In the message, yes.
Yes. Well, until next time, folks, this is Don and Linda with the North Country Fishing Report.